Welcome to the MLS Show. Me and Ped in the studio again. Didn't do any last week because we were chocker.
Very busy.
Very busy, yeah, for all of those. Well, there was actually a video I wanted to show you and it didn't show you because, again, we've been very busy with English, American words and the meanings between the two. It was Steven Gerrard and Frank Lampard. Not that I'm liking us to those two overpaid Englishmen, because we are, quite frankly, not overpaid. But yeah, that was a little example there. Chocker, meaning it means
busy, very busy
here.
Very busy.
Does it mean anything in the US? Tell me. You probably just look and going, what are they talking about? Let's get straight into it, Ped. MLS action this week. Let's start with San Jose and Houston Dynamo.
Yes.
Houston Dynamo. Lots of people on our comments have been asking, when are they going to win a game? When are Houston going to win a game?
They won a
the
game.
Answer is at the weekend. They won in San Jose. One of those, I'd say, mate, a surprise victory, because
I don't know about surprise. I mean, yes,
won for ages.
I know, but San Jose are not exactly turning up in trees, are they?
No.
And I think, every dog has its day, and it was about time Houston got a win, and they've gone 2-0 up and seen out the game, basically. Yes, San Jose got a goal back, but they've seen out the game, and luckily enough, Houston have finally won a game. It was ironic, I suppose, that they've gone to San Jose, which is where they basically come from to win a game. So yeah, that's great. And there's 1-1 against their old manager, and happy days.
It's weird, isn't it? Because obviously they kind of hit a wall, didn't they, Houston? Owen Coyle, who's having not a great time at Blackburn Rovers, shall we say? Still without a victory for Blackburn in the opening 3 games. But I don't know, it's a bit of a strange one, seeing the first time he'd won on the road since July 2015. So over a year without an away win. It's a long time, isn't
it? That's bad.
I mean, that's a good win. Can they go on from here?
No. They can go on and win, maybe, but no, they're bad. They're not good. But I suppose I've said this before. No relegation, so the pressure's off, isn't it? Go and win a few games. Go and be fearless. Don't be worrying about it. Start building for next season. Take a few risks. Play a few younger players. Mess around with the formations. See what comes of it, and just be fearless. There's nothing to worry about now. They've got nothing to play for, so
build about next year again.
Yeah.
Where do you stand very quickly, San Jose?
They're just
not doing anything.
They're not really tearing up any trees. They do rely on Wando quite a bit. You're going to get diminishing returns as that goes along because of his age. So yeah, they need investment. They need 1 or 2 things. They either need investment, they bring players in, or they need to bring some, look at the youth system. But they're never going to turn up any trees. But every dog has its day in MLS, and we've seen Portland, and we've seen the re-emergence of some Rapids this year, and even Philly Union to a point. So you can never write anyone off, but they do rely that much on one, though, that they're going to they need to get away from that.
Yeah, definitely. Moving on, New York City 1, LA Galaxy 0. David Villa with an early goal. I mean, could it have been anybody else other than David Villa?
Could have been Frank.
Well, it could have been Frank, but I mean, a lot of people will buy. If you're going to say someone's going to win a match, I think you're going to go for Villa, aren't you?
Bit of class.
That's what he is, isn't he? And New York City, they're getting better. For me, they're getting better and better.
That, to me, is one of the best results of the season, because it's against LA Galaxy, a decent side with big players. Okay, Steven Gerrard and Robbie Keane too busy going to Carragher's bar to really be that arsed about winning the game. But well, they were, weren't they? They don't. For me, I'd be furious if I was a Galaxy fan seeing that.
Yeah,
I would be furious if that was my team, and I'm seeing players like that going, no, there shouldn't be any of that. Shouldn't be any of that. There shouldn't be any time for that. The time should be going, winning or whatever and coming home. There should be pictures of those two at Carragher's bar. They shouldn't enjoying, going to my mates. But that to me is unprofessional as far as I'm concerned. So there shouldn't be any of that. But that is a brilliant result for New York, because that is going in and getting 3 points against a decent side, clean sheet, seeing out the game and staying at the top of the league, and that's a huge win.
I mean, we're looking at it here. They've got 41 points, top of the Eastern Conference. So if we're going down to the playoff line, it's Orlando and DC United on 28 points.
They're in the playoffs.
So now, what
they've got,
saying now? They're definitely in the playoffs.
What they've got though is Vieira's gone in there, and it hasn't been a revolution; it's been an evolution. He's tightened the ship. Okay, I suppose in a way he's got lucky with Frank Lampard, because he's come in and done the business for him at the right time. But maybe it's those professional attributes from Vieira that has got the best out of Frank Lampard, and he's tightened the whole thing up. Okay, they're not the team they were goal scoring wise. Okay, there's no 4-3s. But if you were a New York City fan, you wouldn't care less, would you? They tightened up and they're winning games, and then at the top, what more do you want if you're a New York City fan after in the second season? They've got 8 games to go. What's great is though, Vieira's gone in there, and I think a lot of people were worried about his whether he'd be able to cope with the MLS system. But what's actually been really good is because he's come from Man City, but he wasn't actually a manager at Man City. He was in charge of the development team. So he didn't worry about transfers. He didn't worry about relegation or anything like that. It's all just geared to win games, and he's done a really good job. And look at the home record. I think they've done really well. The away record. They've done really well away from home.
6 away wins.
Okay, they've lost three at home. They'd like probably more wins at home.
Yeah,
but the away 6 away record, 6 wins is fantastic. So
it's the best in the Eastern Conference.
The 4 points clear of New York Red Bulls as well at this point. So
the fact that it's the best in the whole MLS. 6 away wins.
They're doing really well. And it'll continue.
I mean, look at the talking about Orlando City on 28 points, being in 7th. With DC on 28, Houston Dynamo bottom of the Western Conference on 24. Berserk, isn't it? LA Galaxy is the quick word about them. 38 points, 7 points clear. They've got a couple of games in hand on Dallas, who are sitting at the top on 45. Should make the playoffs, shouldn't he? Early, 10 games to go.
That's poor, that though.
It's poor. I mean, you look at the players they've got. They should probably be doing.
They've got a great record at home. Won 6, drawn 6, lost none. But on the road, 3 wins. It's interesting. Does that say something about their players, their aging players? Does that say they can't? Not saying they can't get up for the away games, but is that something in the fitness,
like fatigue of
the travelling? Because obviously it's not just obviously Keane, Gerrard, Cole. That would be a bit of a worry to me. That especially in the playoffs, that would be a worry to me. So. I don't. You think when the season started and everyone was so overjoyed about the fact that they bought the 3 players in with minimum outlays. They already had the DPs. I think where they are at the moment is a poor reflection of what they've got on the pitch, in the fact that they have got good centre backs and good defenders, and it's not good enough. It's not good enough.
It isn't. It certainly isn't. Philadelphia Union 1, Toronto FC 3. Now.
Is this where you want me to, bite the bullet? And
not yet, because I'm just about to give you a bit of praise first of all, because the other week Philadelphia Union were flying, and it's a little bit of a wobble, and you said you could see them starting to go on the downward spiral. They'd lost a couple, then won, but then a comfortable home defeat here by Toronto, and you're thinking, what's happening with Jim Curtin's men at the minute? Because they brought in a couple of, like Charlie Davis came in, and Bedoya
came in from France.
So you're looking and going, well, it's a strengthening there with the transfer window.
But where are they strengthening in the right place though?
Well, I mean, that's the question. Toronto have arrived in town. Giovinco back on song. His goal, Ped.
beautiful.
A lovely goal.
It's such a good goal. The take is so much harder than it looks.
Yeah, with the heel.
To take that on and not break stride is so incredibly difficult in football. When you always hear in football when people play passes and you'll hear the commentators or whatever say that's such a good pass because he didn't have to break his stride, because that's so important. So if you're running and you don't have to check. I mean, the amount of times you see a ball get passed behind the player and the player's then got to take a step. Half a second is all it takes.
Yeah.
So it's all to slow down and break up. He kept that ball under control in stride, got through off one post, off the other. That looked beautiful the way that but what a player!
It was a great goal.
What a player!
Josie Altidore, I'm going to make you probably bite the bullet here at some stage.
Josie
Altidore was involved in the first one with the little chest off before the pass. He then put a great ball through for Gio.
He did. It was a nice little pass. Gio quite a high line, but I don't know why Philly Union playing such a high line. I don't quite understand that.
It was a bit weird. Gio missed it, but Kent Ribbett scores a good header to put
great
Philly
header.
Union back in. Then you're probably thinking from their point of view, let's get in 1-1. They give a free kick away. Toronto put it in the box, and Drew Moore scores with a great header right to the bottom corner. It was a lovely header, but as we were watching it, you'd said, look at the marking. He's just on his own.
He's on his
centre half who can head the ball is on his own.
Penalty spot.
It's silly things like that, isn't it?
That's MLS though.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
it is though, isn't it?
It is, but I mean, let's say New York City for argument's sake. We watched them 12 months ago. All over the place, defensively.
You can work on it.
What Vieira's done.
MLS coaches just don't choose to work on it. It's quite obvious.
Well, and then the bit, so it's 2-1. You're thinking, all right, stay in the game at 2-1, get in at half time, still in it, and then lo and behold, your man, who was, I honestly believe the other week he was bored, and someone just went.
I reckon he was.
I reckon someone went. Listen,
when he was doing that.
He was just shocked. Well, exactly. So I reckon someone went, Josie, look at these two English fellas who like MLS, watch their program, and he just happened to put it on the week that you destroyed them. Since then, goals galore.
I think I've done
You've done your job.
To be fair,
it's a good goal. To be fair,
he scored a decent one last week.
Yeah.
I think these are his kind of goals. He scored a lot of goals. Over the last, maybe not the last year or so, but I think it was up until 2014 World Cup in Brazil.
Yeah,
he scored a lot of these goals for the national team.
And in Holland,
where he picked the ball up, and what he's very good at, and I will give him a lot of praises. What he's very good at is he picks the ball up and he doesn't let the ball get away from him. And what he tends to do is keep it very close to him, and then use his body to almost weave his way. So whereas you see a lot of footballers, they use their, you look at someone like Messi, and he'll weave through players with very quick movements of his feet. He doesn't. For me, he doesn't do that. The ball doesn't move off his foot. It's his body's just like that, and he did that really well. And to be fair, the finish was quite good with the outside of his foot. So I will give him a lot of praise for that. He has bucked up since I gave him a kick up the arse, to be fair. So I still don't think he's that good a centre forward, but he tends to miss the easier goals, which is what a centre forward gets paid to do. But his strikes in the last couple of weeks have been really good. So I'm glad he listened to me.
Exactly. I mean, that's what we're here for.
Exactly. You know what I mean? We're here to help MLS improve.
Exactly.
Do you know what
Josie
I mean?
is watching it and improving. Just looking at the Eastern Conference, they're Toronto 40 points in second spot now. Game in hand, of course, on New York City. They win that. I actually tipped these in the opening week to win MLS Cup, because I just thought they've got Giovinco, so if you can stay in games with him, and Will Johnson's in there, Josie Altidore when he's on form, Endo, so they've got some good players, Michael Bradley at times. I know you're not. I've
said it before. I'll say Toronto are the biggest club, I think, in MLS not to have won MLS Cup. Right, okay. So if a lot of people want to come back to me on that, but I still think they are potentially. I know Seattle fans will probably say something, but I know what I think they've got a big fan base. I think obviously being
BMO's improved,
Canadian,
well, course,
and that the ground's been improved. They've put a big outlay they changed a lot of things around. They brought in, obviously, Giovinco, they brought in Altidore, and they still haven't seen any kind of reward from that. And that was more my bug with Altidore, is that I thought he was wasting a DP spot. I think Bradley's wasting on it in a way. I know they're big names and big American players.
I kind of wish Defoe would have stayed there with Giovinco, even though they were little.
That'd be very, very interesting, wouldn't it?
Would have been. I think they'd have been dangerous.
I think if they won MLS Cup, I think it'd be very interesting for the I don't want to say the brand, but I think
the organisation.
I think Toronto are a very marketable club because of where they are, and I think it would. Not saying it would explode, because I think the game's quite big in Canada anyway.
Oh, yeah.
I just it could be. I can't quite put my finger on what it would mean, but I think it would mean a hell of a lot, and I think you would suddenly find such a big demand.
I think it's definitely take them up a level. I think, without a shadow. I think you're right, marketable. The marketability of Toronto as a club anyway, and given all the other stuff you've said, the fan base is there, the stadium's being improved, they've got the sexiest player in MLS in terms of Giovinco.
They've got it, and I've said it before, they've got the greatest MLS player ever. I don't give a monkeys. There's
a lot of shouts of Landon Donovan.
No, he's not. I'm sorry, I like Landon, he's a good footballer, he's done incredibly well for our club, but he's not the best footballer.
Skill-wise and everything, being able to dribble.
Giovinco's the best footballer. Maybe this is a Messi, Ronaldo kind of argument. You know,
who's the more skillful?
One's skill, one's end product. Well, Messi's got everything. But what I mean, Giovinco's just pure class. He's pure class. He's a footballer. Landon put the ball in the back of the net. This fella can put the ball in the back of the net
and do everything.
Every different way. He's just love him as long as you can, because imagine if he was American. Oh my God, he would be just someone lauded. He would Nike could get hold of him and just make him
be the poster boy, because he's
up
fantastic.
There. He's amazing.
He'd boost the game.
Love him and cherish him for as long as you've got.
Philly Union down to 4th now, 34 points. Looking at that, obviously 6 points ahead of Orlando City. You've got a game in hand, so that'll drag them into it, or DC United. So they've got to try and get some momentum going again.
Big last few weeks.
It is. They've got 9 games to play in the regular season, so they probably need, I'd say, 4 wins. Puts them in the playoffs. So they have certainly got a big few weeks, but interesting times ahead. New England Revolution 0, Columbus Crew 2. This was billed as the chance for Kai Kamara to show Columbus what he's missing. And he didn't.
And they got beat.
They got beat 2-0. I watched quite a bit of this one. It was New England. There's a strange side. They are, because they've got a lot of things that are good about them. They get into dangerous areas. They've got Kai Kamara, who knows how to put the ball in there. Got Lee Wynn, who's one of my favourite MLS players. They've got pace wide. He started off well, but he's dropped right off. He really has.
A lot of players who played well last season have dropped this season. Ethan Finley's another one.
Well, he scored last week, scored this week, but I think that's only something like a second goal.
As well. They last year it was Kamara, Finley, and Higuain, and they were just brilliant. And the Cole Kamara thing just messed everything up, and they just didn't. They just haven't been able to get. Maybe it's the intensity of MLS, and maybe that's what we're seeing. We've seen a lot of players. We're talking about Nagby last week, a couple of weeks ago, saying how he hadn't been. Maybe being consistent for a whole season is what a lot of these players suffer with. But that's what you've got to do if you want to be a big player. Players in Europe do it all the time, and that's why they become big stars.
I think Wynn's missing the presence of, I forgot his name now, Jermaine Jones, who left, of course, because I think Lee Wynn, he's such a good footballer, but he needs someone in the middle of the park to do.
A lot of footballers need.
You need someone who's going to win it and give it to you to play. And I think that, for me, that's what missing for New England. If they could get someone in there who's strong, who can win the ball and get them going, then Kamara will get goals. Teal Bunbury's a danger, a threat. Fagunders, they've got them players there. Obviously, Charlie Davies has gone to Philadelphia, but frustrating times for them, I suppose. For Columbus Crew, they've been shocking this season. I think you're right.
I think we just move on.
But we'll just look at the standings before we move on. I mean, we're looking at, there's Columbus Crew, second to bottom in the Eastern Conference. The Rebs, a place above them and 3 points above them. So them two are not having...
terrible season.
Yeah, they're not having the greatest season. On to the biggest shock of the weekend for me. Montreal Impact 0, Chicago Fire 3. Now, Chicago, bottom of the Eastern Conference, of course. Basically just spanked here. Gone to Montreal and won, obviously. Solignac from David Accam. I think the big thing for Chicago, to have Accam back. He was missing. He started the season well, picked up an injury, was out for a while.
Yeah.
But has come back now, starting to get, when he's give Paunovic an extra.
Can't be a one-man team, no, can you? That's the problem with MLS, and that's where maybe it's funny because Sean Maloney scored in the Premier League this weekend, so he had a good game as well, which is funny. But I think what it also proves is that you've got to build a team in MLS now. You can't just rely on individuals, because even if the individuals are doing it, they'll get bored. So, and you need players around. I mean, like, again, as I say, someone like Sean Maloney, he's a decent player, but he's not a great player. He can't do it on his own. He needs people around him, and then you find that you lose those players, and then you just lost a good player because you're not attracting other players. I think that's what Chicago have had in the last few years. So, someone like Mike McGee, he came in, he did well, but you can't just rely on a player like him. He's a player who looks good in the Galaxy team because he's got players around him, but he's not one of those players that he did have one good season for Chicago, and that's where the likes of Chicago, that's where the likes of San Jose, they're the ones that you have to put players around them, and that's why maybe the likes of Philly Union, the likes of Colorado Rapids are having better seasons, because suddenly what they've done is they've gone, we've got an alright team, but it's not great. Then they added like ones or twos, and once you get like 3 or 4, that's the making of a good team. If you've got 3 or 4 and then you've got good runners around them and a system, suddenly you've got a good team in MLS. That's what it's all about.
I've watched Chicago though. Sean Johnson, he was outstanding again at the weekend.
He's always got a big standing though.
No, but I mean, he's a good keeper. They've got a good keeper. They got Accam, they had Igbon and Niki. They've got Polster in there. They've got players who they've got.
But do they work in a system now?
As well, who's got a
do they work in a system now that gets the best out of them and also the other players? And that's the problem. Now Chicago, and like we saw like Houston before, they've got a great opportunity now to work on systems that are going to make them better next season.
They need to keep Paunovic. He's come in this season. They lost Yalop, they've gone over it, but they need some continuity. But we sat here 12 months ago when they were struggling then, and we were talking about when Yalop went, we were saying, well, you've got a chance to bring some kids in, there's nothing going on, get it ready for next season. And 12 months have gone by, and we're sitting here saying, with 9 games to go, they've got a chance now to plan for next season. So when does, it's a case for me, looking at Chicago, if tomorrow never comes. Accam got on the end of a goal. He made scored a goal, made it 2-0, and Polster added the third. Alvarez involved with assists in both of them. So to go to Montreal and win 3-0 for me is incredible. And just one little side note to that, I mean, we just quickly look at those standings there. But Chicago bottom, 22 points now, just a point behind Columbus Crew.
The Reds, Chicago are only 6 points off DC.
I know, and they've only played 23 games. They've got 2 games in hand on the Rebs, and the 4
have a go
behind. So maybe
Major League.
Maybe Accam.
Do it, man.
Maybe Accam can sort it. Montreal, who were flying again the other week, down in 5th. 33 points. Just one little side issue before we move on. A little weird story today. The Didier Drogba's been linked with Aston Villa.
Don't do it, man.
Stay where you are, Didier. That's just a bit bizarre. Very briefly, Colorado Rapids 0, Orlando City 0. Clean sheet again for Tim Howard. Colorado
were just looking forward to the day out at the baseball. Good point for Orlando though, I think.
Look at Colorado, they're in second place. 10 games to go, second place, 2 games in. For me, definitely in the playoffs. Comfortably in the playoffs, and you can start to think about that. And with the way they are, look at the home form. Unbeaten at home, 9 wins, 4 draws. But away form, just 2 victories. It's shocking. But it's been an excellent season, hasn't it, for Colorado?
Altitude, altitude.
The Josie altitude.
The altitude.
You know, you got Howard's had a good season, Jermaine Jones, Kevin Doyle's been a focal point, Hairston has been fantastic for them, so, and obviously we can't ignore the contribution of Zach McMath in the early part of the season. Orlando City, Jason Christ has found what Adrian Heath found, which is they get a lot of draws, but they can't turn them into wins.
They do, yeah. That's for him to find that balance.
It was a great, I mean, for me, it was a great point, given how good Colorado have been to go away and draw 0-0. They've obviously got some problems. Molino still out injured, but you know, they're just outside the playoffs, same points as DC United. Couple of games in hand on New York Red Bulls, but they're miles away from them. So 10 games to go. Yep. Orlando got to find that solution, hasn't he, very quickly. If they miss
there's still one. There's still one. I think maybe 2 spots left for the playoffs. Maybe 2 at a push.
Okay.
But I mean, yeah, it's 5 points. But there's still definitely 1 spot left. And if he can just get it right.
Well, let me just, before we move on, if they miss out on the playoffs, Adrian Heath situation, right or wrong decision? It's a tough one.
I don't think you can sort of look at that till next season because it is the latter part of the season now. And
okay, let me put it this way: do you think with Adrian Heath they'd have got in the playoffs under Adrian Heath?
It's hard to say, isn't it? It's hard to say.
What does it mean to them?
I don't think anything's changed.
What does it mean to them as an organisation if they miss out a game this season? Because
it's New York second City season, and I just think New York City have. But I tell you what, it does mean. It means 2 seasons of having Kaká and not getting the rewards of it.
He's been good.
I suppose. I tell you what, I suppose when you get in the new ground, that's when it's going to really sort of hit. You know, that's when it's going to be. That's when the pressure hits, when they get the new ground. That's when it'll be. That's when they sort of become whole.
Yeah. Like a Atomic Kitten.
Yeah.
Whole again.
Yeah. I'm sure that's a reference all Americans are used to.
Exactly.
But again, I mean, look, their away record, the home record.
The home record this year has been shocking because they've lost 1 game in something like 18 or 19 at the Camping World Stadium. Right?
Yeah.
But 4 home wins.
It's
outrageous.
It's terrible. Especially with all the attacking.
That's it.
Especially with all the attacking players they've got, and they've got that advantage of the humidity, which someone like Sporting in the last few weeks have took proper advantage of. Yeah. Really have.
I mean, Colorado have used theirs this year, haven't they?
That's the thing, isn't it? You know,
bit frustrating.
You know,
as an Orlando fan, it's very, very frustrating. You know, but I just think they've got a big 8 or 9 games now.
Yeah.
Real Salt Lake 1, FC Dallas 0. It's
a bit of a shock, isn't it?
This was a bit of a shock. Although, I mean, Real Salt Lake have been good this season. Dallas have obviously been what they normally do, which is, you know,
you can have your odd defeat, aren't you, when you go.
Good.
Everyone, no one's ever going to go through a season undefeated in MLS. So there are going to be the odd defeats. I suppose you don't want to be getting beat by teams in and around, yeah, you know. But then again, you don't want to get beat by teams that are low, are you? So
you don't want to get beat.
It's a mixed bag, but Real Salt Lake are still in there, aren't they? They're still fighting, still in there. Obviously going to secure their playoff spot, which they should do. So yeah, it's not a fantastic night for Dallas, but you know, they'll look at it. They're still up there. They're in the cup final as well, aren't they? So
yeah.
So they'll be looking at it. So far, I'm thinking it's a good season. It's when they get to the playoffs, Dallas, that it's really going to matter. Because let's be honest, this time last year they were in exactly pretty much the same situation. Yes, they've lost Castillo, which is a big blow, but they've got lots of attacking players. Maybe in games like this though, where you need that little bit of, you know, he might have been the difference. You know, I mean, the dancing feet. I mean, the goal. Just looking at the goal again, there, a set piece. You know, when it's bobbled around, and Olave has just smashed it into the roof of the net. But I mean, that's the difference in these, isn't it? Yeah. But they've still got. I mean, for me, Dallas has still got Diaz. Yeah. They've still got Arruti. They've still got Acosta. They've got Barrios. They've still got more than enough attacking options. For Real Salt Lake, you know, they're doing well. They're right in the mix.
And you know they have been. Again, they lost Plata at a time when he was doing really well, when they were a handful. But they find themselves lying in third place. You know, same games as Dallas, 5 points behind, 40 points now. You'd expect them to make playoffs now, wouldn't you? Given that.
Yeah, and I expect.
I don't see San Jose.
I only see one space up for grab in the West. I think Portland are
vulnerable, aren't they?
They're still vulnerable, but then again, look at the teams below them. I just think
Seattle.
Yeah, they've had a little bit of an upturn since, you know, Shiki Schmidt went.
This one's the one for me is Vancouver.
Yeah, they
were brilliant last season.
It goes back to like having. It's almost like, I suppose it's almost like having the perfect season to get, and they've fallen away again.
I mean,
but let's be honest, they were playing Sporting Kansas City this week, so of course they were going to get beaten.
Well, that's what we were coming on to. Sporting Kansas City 2, Vancouver 0. Benny Feilhaber involved again. Sporting have really, they started well, then they hit a brick wall, and then they picked it up and they started doing things like wearing white kits.
They've used the summer heat brilliantly. They have used that summer heat brilliantly. Yeah, I suppose it's a very straightforward win. Obviously the second goal, the big controversy for the penalty. Feilhaber, you know, having to take it again, obviously. But if the keeper comes off his line to save it, then that's just the way it is. Bit lucky for the second one as well. I think the keeper just got his hand to it. But
I mean, if you're looking at that, you know, 62% possession for Sporting Kansas City. I think
Sporting have been great for the last 2 months.
Yeah,
they have really dug in,
picked it up,
and it's classic Sporting actually, because it's they just dig in and win games, and that's what they did brilliantly last year. And they almost just run out. Well, they did run out of steam last season, but maybe they've timed it a little bit different. I mean, Sporting were actually my pick for winning the Supporters Shield this season. Not the whole thing, but just the Supporters Shield. I thought they just had that grittiness, but they lost away in after like the first month. They started really well, then dipped. But the last couple of months, they've just started winning games.
I mean, that 21 shots through. I mean, look at the passes, 464 to 287. So they've
got brilliant momentum going into the latter months of the season. It's just whether we'll have to wait and see how they've timed it right. Yeah. If they've timed it, but
I mean, just looking there, they're in 4th spot. The 7 clear of San Jose. I'd expect them. Well, of course, San Jose got 3 games and I'm done with you to win them. But I still think 38 points. I think Sporting get 3 wins from their last 7 games, 2 wins and a couple of draws. They're comfortably.
They're good. They've got I mean, the home record 9 wins. They've lost 4, which is more than they normally do.
That was a couple of them, but in that second month though, when they lost the back-to-back.
Their away record again's a bit poor. 7 defeats and 2 wins is a bit poor, so they're gonna have to find a way to change that up a little bit when they go into the playoffs. So, but yeah, plodding along nicely.
They're in there again. Benny again involved, of course. DC United 2, New York Red Bulls 2. DC United just hanging on to that 6th spot in the Eastern Conference, the playoff spot. Bradley Wright Phillips again with a goal. He's just a machine, isn't he? Let's be honest there. And also had an assist, but 2-0 up. This has happened a couple of times to New York Red Bulls, and Jesse Marsh must be thinking, you know, why aren't we closing these games out? They were this time last year on the way to win the Supporters Shield. Yes, of course, they're still comfortably placed in the Eastern Conference, but to 2-0 up at DC, you know, to concede the penalty, and then obviously Mullins scoring, former New York City player.
Yeah.
You know,
he'll love that.
2 goals in 3 minutes. DC have done this a couple of times.
Yeah.
One of those.
That's always, you know, that can always happen. Kind of 2 goals on the bounce later on. Once you've got that goal, and you suddenly start panicking as a player and thinking, oh my god. And
it's a funny lead 2-0, isn't it? Because you're thinking we're coasting here. This is
especially when teams just throw everything at it as well. I suppose it's up to the team that are winning to have a little bit of experience, a little bit of nous. But you'd expect more from the New York Red Bulls because they've been so good defensively and they're set up so well defensively. But
I mean, just looking at that there, mate, 9 home wins, which is fantastic, and it's the best in MLS. 1 away victory.
Yeah, that's poor.
You know, on the road, considering they're a good. I mean, I think they lost 6 of the first 7 games.
Maybe that shows the start. Maybe that's about the style of play. not being adventurous enough away from home, and it costing them.
But I mean, the reality is they've recovered well. Like you said, they lost 6 of the first 7 or something.
Yeah, they're in a great position.
So they're in 37 points. 2 games in hand. Orlando have got on them, and New England Revolution rather have got a game in hand. But they're comfortably placed, 37 points. Again, a couple of wins secures them quite happily into the playoff situation. And then, of course, the final game of the weekend: Seattle Sounders 3, Portland Timbers MLS Cup holders 1. Portland are just all over the place really this season. I think the MLS Cup holders, of course, I think it was always going to be a big ask for them to be able to do it again. It still might do it again, who knows.
Well, let's be honest, Portland are suffering because of the defensive, because they've lost the centre-back partnership, and that with the loss of form to the likes of Nagby, they're just not doing it week in and week out. But I can't reiterate enough how big losing that centre-back partnership was. Having a partnership like that week in and week out, the centre-backs knowing who drops, who goes, who organises, who's doing this, who's doing that. Not only that though, but Liam Ridgey and Nat Borchis, they were popping up with important goals as well. They were always a threat from set pieces. I can't reiterate enough how important those two players are, how big a partnership they were, and to have those players missing for big parts of the season has just decimated Portland, and you can't replace players like that.
No, I mean they've had Jake Leeson's come in as well and come to fruition in goal for Portland this year. He's been brilliant, so you would think if they would have had Borges and Ridgewell all the time with Gleeson behind, they've been fantastic. I mean, this one was, it took a penalty to break the deadlock. Clint Dempsey scored on the penalty, and then adding the second one to go 2 up, and Roldan, who created the goal for Dempsey, then makes it 3-0. Ladero again, fantastic, and then it's seeing he's really energised Seattle. Ladero, they brought him in last week. The goal last week he scored the left foot. It was fantastic.
It's interesting, isn't it, because he came in obviously the same week Ricky Schmidt went, so you're thinking, has he done it? Has Siggy Schmidt? I mean, they'll never know, but I mean, it was very important that they got a new coaching and just new ideas, and just you're talking about energising, having a new voice in there. And
Siggy Schmidt left, they've had 4 games unbeaten, the other draw, and then they've won 3 on the run. They went down to Orlando.
It can't, I mean, it's not just bringing a player in. It's definitely the manager, new voice, new ideas. It's football. Sometimes it's time for a new thing, and that's happened, and that's a big win. It's obviously a massive win for local pride as well, and the rivalry between the two clubs. And
of course, Fernando adding the goal late on, he's been, he's put the ball in the net again. Not enough, but he's still scored goals. But if you're looking at
Portland haven't won an away game.
I know, it's well, again, no, it goes back to what you were just saying about Borges and Ridgewell. To win games on the road, you've got to be good defensively, and and then your players like your Nagbys and your Chadders and Milano rather, he's got to come to fruition. It just hasn't happened. Portland, Seattle, like you say, though, since Siggy Schmidt gone, they closed the gap on Portland. Then 10 points out of 12. They're now a win away, and they've got 2 games in hand. So and you would say you often we speak about it on here after the MLS game, over the hump, we try and build momentum. You'd argue that Seattle are building momentum.
It's at the right time as well, isn't it? And who knows? We've seen stranger things happen with Seattle. So
I mean, a home form, won 7, lost 5. But 7 home wins. But like you rightly say, 2 away wins. They probably needed maybe another 2 of them. But then when you take that to Portland and you look at there, 8 home victories, always a difficult place to go. They're very strong at home, Portland. But away from home, no victories. Are they the only team in MLS without an away win?
No.
A road win? They are.
I just think the problem with Portland is there's not much they can do about it. I just don't think there's anything to do about it. They've brought in Stephen Taylor. I don't even know if he's played a game yet. Has he played a game? I can't even remember. But
he didn't have the greatest.
No. But they brought him in to try and change things up. But there's very little he can do about the situation at the back. And they're going to have to sort of squeak their way into the playoffs by the look of it. So, be interesting to see whether they can. But
I think the home form gives them a chance. They're very, very strong at home, aren't they?
Okay, so Taylor played this one.
That was his first game, this one. So, he's going to take a few weeks to get that partnership with Ridgewell.
Him and Ridgewell, if they can get it going, if they can get that partnership going, which they can, they're both good players. If they can get that going over the next few weeks, that will be important. It really will. If they can start, reading each other's game, then that will give them a platform to build from. But it's going to take Stephen Taylor a few weeks, I think, to, he's played in the Premier League, to just understand, get up to speed with MLS and what it's playing and all these different things that go with MLS.
They've got, you look at Portland, Valeri, what a fantastic player, and he signed a new contract last week, wants to end his career as a Portland Timbers player. He said Jack McInerney, he always works better with Addy, I think, with the big man, because he's a small, diminutive striker. You've got Nagby, very attacking, maybe too attacking.
Yeah, possibly so. We'll wait and see. But, it's going to be a great little battle between these two.
Oh yeah,
brilliant little battle.
Makes it really interesting, doesn't it? Just before we wrap up, Ped, big news this week of that Minnesota United.
Yes,
they've kept the name. They're going to be playing MLS from next season. It's been confirmed now, so that's great. We're getting 2 expansion teams.
Atlanta in as well. LA the year after, isn't it?
And Miami Beckham. If that happens.
But yeah, it's brilliant news. I think everyone knew it was coming, but it's great that they've been able to keep the brand and they don't have to. I don't know. I'll never understand why that was thrown up, and I don't understand why it's been reversed back. But this only one United and all this nonsense. No, it's good. It's good. They've get good crowds. They've, it's not one of these teams from dust. It's a team that's been together. They deserve it. Looks like they've got a good base to build from. You've got Atlanta, who've got brilliant season tickets so far. Will make them one of the best supported teams already in MLS. If they can, obviously season ticket means they can keep it up, and that's just really good. That's just really good for the league, and it'll be interesting now to start hearing who the signings are and who's leaving who. And it's funny when you get new teams, because it starts dragging players out of other clubs, and then they have to start replacing them. And the
expansions that I seen Paul Tenorio, who is a journalist of Chicago, talking about New York Red Bulls are vulnerable in terms of an expansion because of the players they might lose. They're trying to lock some down, because obviously you get first pick, don't you, and stuff like that. So it's going to be certainly one to watch. We'll do obviously a little special on Minnesota as we get more stuff going forward, but just big news, and it's exciting news to get 2 expansion teams again next season. I think it changes the demographic again.
I think they're getting a new ground built as well, aren't they? Minnesota as well. I think they're going to play the first 2 in the college, or it might be first or 2 years. They're getting a new ground. Atlanta's ground's getting built. LA's ground's getting built. LA haven't even got a team, and they've got the best caps in America. They've got one of the highest selling caps in America. The brand is the brand already is amazing. The black and gold and all that. And if they get that, if the stadium, until the stadium's actually built, I'll never believe there's a stadium anyway. But they're getting downtown LA and all that. Yeah, should be stuck in traffic for 18 hours to get to the game, but that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Right, the league's going onwards and upwards, and we look forward to new interesting teams and
managers and players
and all that.
Else. Fantastic. Let us know what you think in the comments section below about the weekend's games, any of the news items we've talked about, anything we should have spoke about. Let us know in the comments section below, and we will try our best to address it next week. That's it from me and Ped. Give us a follow on Twitter, give us a like Facebook, share it, tell your mates, tell everybody, and just for you, Josie, keep watching and keep scoring goals. We see you soon on the MLS Show. He made a surprise victory, because
I don't know about surprise. Yes,
won for ages.
I know, but San Jose are not exactly turning up in trees, are they?
No.
And I think every dog has its day, and it was about time Houston got a win, and they've gone 2-0 up. And seen out the game, basically. Yes, San Jose got a goal back, but they've seen out the game, and luckily enough, Houston have finally won a game. It was, ironic, I suppose, that they've gone to San Jose, which is where they basically come from to win a game. So yeah, that's great. And it's 1-1 against their old manager and happy days.
It's weird, isn't it? Because obviously they kind of hit a wall, didn't he? Houston, Owen Coyle, who's having not a great time at Blackburn Rovers, shall we say? Still without a victory for Blackburn in the opening 3 games, but I don't know. It's a bit of a strange one. Seeing the first time he'd won on the road since July 2015.
They need 1 or 2 things. They either need investment to bring players in, or they need to bring some, look at the youth system. But they're never going to turn up any trees. But every dog has its day in MLS, and we've seen Portland, and we've seen the re-emergence of some Rapids this year, and even Philly Union to a point. So you can never write anyone off, but they do rely that much on one, though, that they need to get away from that.
Yeah, definitely. Moving on, New York City 1, LA Galaxy 0. David Villa with an early goal. I mean, could it have been anybody else other than David Villa?
Could have been Frank.
Well, it could have been Frank, but I mean, a lot of people will have. If you're going to say someone's going to win a match, I think you're going to go for Villa, aren't you?
Bit of class.
That's what he is, isn't he? And New York City, they're getting better. For me, they're getting better and better.
That, to me, is one of the best results of the season, because it's against LA Galaxy, a decent side with big players. Okay, Steven Gerrard and Robbie Keane too busy going to Carragher's bar to really be that arsed about winning the game. But well, they were, weren't they? They don't. For me, I'd be furious if I was a Galaxy fan seeing that.
Yeah,
I would be furious if that was my team, and I'm seeing players like that going. No, there shouldn't be any of that. Shouldn't be any of that. There shouldn't be any time for that. The time should be going, winning or whatever, and coming home. There should be pictures of those two at Carragher's bar. They shouldn't enjoying going to my mates. But that to me is unprofessional, as far as I'm concerned. So there shouldn't be any of that. But that is a brilliant result for New York, because that is going in and getting 3 points against a decent side, clean sheet, seeing out the game and staying at the top of the league, and that's a huge win. I
mean, we're looking at it here. They've got 41 points, top of the Eastern Conference. So if we're going down to the playoff line, it's Orlando and DC United on 28 points.
They're in the playoffs.
So over a year without an away win. It's a long time, isn't
it? That's bad.
I mean, that's a good win. Can they go on from here?
No, they can go on and win maybe, but no, they're bad. They're not good. But I suppose I've said this before. No relegation, so the pressure's off, isn't it? Go and win a few games. Go and be fearless. Don't be worrying about it. Start building for next season. Take a few risks. Play a few younger players. Mess around with the formations. See what comes of it, and just be fearless. There's nothing to worry about now. They've got nothing to play for. So
build about next year again.
Yeah.
Where do you stand very quickly, San Jose?
They're just
not doing anything.
They're not really tearing up any trees. They do rely on Wando quite a bit. You're going to get diminishing returns as that goes along because of his age. So yeah, they need investment. They need.
Welcome to the MLS show. Me and Ped in the studio again. Didn't do any last week because we were chocker. Let's be honest.
Very busy.
Very busy. Yeah, for all of those. Well, there was actually a video I wanted to show you and it didn't show you because again we've been very busy with English American words and the meanings between the two. It was Steven Gerrard and Frank Lampard. Not that I'm liking us to those two overpaid Englishmen, because we are quite frankly not overpaid. Yeah. But yeah, that was a little example there. Chocker, meaning it means
busy, very busy
here.
Very busy.
Does it mean anything in the US? Tell me. You probably just look and going, what are they talking about? Yeah. Let's get straight into it, Ped. MLS action this week. Let's start with San Jose and Houston Dynamo.
Yes.
Houston Dynamo. Lots of people on our comments have been asking when are they going to win a game. When are Houston going to win a game?
They won a
the
game.
answer is at the weekend. They won in San Jose. One of those, I'd say